Hello, hello. I thought I was live. I'm here talking to myself. I said, no wonder nobody's answering my question in the chat. I was like, what is going on? Hello, hello, and welcome. Yes, I have been sitting on here talking for the last for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you for calling me. Now let me know in the chat. Taisha just called me and said, "You're not, where are you? What's going on? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I'm thinking, "Are you okay? You're in the chat." So I was wondering, am I blurry today? On Sunday, I was so disappointed because, when I saw the live playback, I was blurry. I could not tell. And then first I thought, is it my glasses? Did it do something to my eyes? But I was blurry. So I should be clear as day. But I looked clear as day on Sunday. And when I saw it back, it was not clear as day. So how is it looking? Can you guys hear me? Do I look blurry? Do I look blurry at all? Can somebody tell me in the chat? So tonight we have, hey Taisha, we have Delilah, we have Dayana, we have Mia, we have Dayana. Did I say her? We have Mark. Hey Mark, we have Z, we have Geraldine. Geraldine, hey Geraldine. Geraldine, tomorrow is your big day. Um, I have that set in my head so I can remember that. Yes, it's tomorrow. So I'm not blurry tonight. Okay, very good. Because I don't know what happened on Sunday. I couldn't believe it when I watched it back. When I was sitting here, it looked clear as day, but I had on my glasses too, but I took off my glasses at some point. So yeah, I don't know what happened. But anyway, I'm clear right now. So what I want to talk about tonight is some hot topics, some things going on as far as health and wellness and GLP-1 land. And so I think if a lot of you guys are on Zepbound, that means you're not probably diabetic, but it's pretty much the same medication as if you're on Mounjaro. And so I'm taking Mounjaro. And if you're also taking Wegovy, you could probably relate to this. But I was thinking about the follow-up from Irv Gotti. I talked about him 2 weeks ago. He's that music mogul that had the stroke. And it really struck a chord with me talking about him or seeing that he passed at 54 because this man was wealthy, and you always think wealthy people have access to the best health care. And it just reminded me that, health is wealth. Like if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter what kind of wealth you have, you won't be around to see it or spend it. And so I don't know if you know who Irv Gotti is, but I'll just tell you, I don't know if he discovered her, but I know he developed her. And Ashanti, she's one of my R&B singers to listen to. And then also Ja Rule, Ja Rule had things going on before 50 Cent came along and got to him. But Ja Rule was a famous rapper in his time. So those are the two names. I mean, he's produced so many people, but those are the two that stand out. And I remember a couple of years ago, he sold his masters, and his masters, I mean, this is how much he was producing and how popular he was in the hip hop community. He sold his masters for $300 million. And at the time, people thought he was crazy because people thought, he could possibly hold on to it longer, even get more than that. But, he said that he was doing that because he wanted to secure generational wealth for his family. And so I just thought that was so, I just thought that was so thoughtful of him that he was thinking down the road for his family. Well, one of the things he had diabetes. And so, his brother says that he knew he had diabetes. He said he went to the hospital. He never went to the hospital. And he finally went to the hospital for a checkup some years ago, and they told him he had diabetes. And his brother said he didn't believe it. And so he just ignored it. He didn't believe it. And so, over the course of the time, your blood, that your blood vessels, your blood kind of clots up, which leads to that massive stroke that he had. And so one of the things that his brother said was, he would always say, I'm not changing the way I'm eating. I'm not changing this or changing that. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. And so that really ended up happening to him. So, I was just, going on the internet, minding my own business, and I came across this article, and it just reminded me of what I want to avoid in my life, right? Just eating that fast food and just thinking, it's not going to do anything to you. So let's hope that this works, because I'm going to share my screen. I've been having internet issues, and it's just comes on all of a sudden, like I know nothing about it. Everything's working fine until it's not. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you this article, if it lets me share my screen. This article where the brother talks about him. Hopefully you can see it. Taisha, maybe call me if you can't see the screen. Please, if you don't mind. So anyway, it says he reveals his brother's last meal that he suffered years before his death. So I'm going to give you a hint and tell you his last meal had to do with some kind of fast food. Who knows does anybody know this story? Who can guess? What was he eating when he had that massive attack that killed him? What was he eating? Does anybody know? Does anybody know this story? Write it in the chat if you know what he was eating that night. Let's see. Did anybody write it? Yes, Nia. He was eating some Chinese food. I'm like, what in the world? What in the world? That Chinese food, that MSG will get you. He was eating some Chinese food. So let me see. So his brother says that he was eating this Chinese food. Let me go to where he said, let's see. He said, according to Chris, Irv passed away on February 5th. He was defiant in his response to his diabetes diagnosis. He continued to indulge in unhealthy meals despite his deteriorating health condition. This includes Chinese food, which Chris says was his last meal. That was the last meal that his brother ate prior to his death. So he was eating that Chinese food, and they said that he did not want to change his eating habits. He was playing poker when he had this massive stroke. So I just thought that is so sad. He went out the way he wanted to, his brother said, on his own terms, but he just refused to change his eating habits. He refused. He didn't want to take medication for it, and he just thought he could ignore it. I think he was probably in denial about it. But, his brother said, he just said, if he's going to go out, that's how he's going to go out. So I just thought, wow, how awful is that? He could have made some lifestyle changes to, help himself. So, now another thing I've heard, and I don't know how true this is, but they say that he was when he was diagnosed, he was a type 2 diabetic that turned into a type 1 diabetic. And I've never heard of that. Because to be a type 1 diabetic, I've researched that because I was like, I don't know if that's true. We're giving out the right information. This article was giving out the right information. But, supposedly, he was a type 2 diabetic, not ever a type 1. So I don't know how it came, what the difference, is, if how people got it mixed up. But type 1, when you have type 1 diabetes, the body doesn't make insulin at all. So, a lot of people are, born with it, being a type 2 diabetic. They're not making that insulin. It reminds me of Halle Berry. I know she is a type 1. There's somebody else that's famous that's a type 1 that kind of talks about their journey with being a diabetic. But type 2 is your body doesn't make insulin, but your body does make the insulin. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work very well. So they said it's like having a key that's rusty when you're a type 2 diabetic, which I could relate to that. And then, when you're a type 1 diabetic, because you're not producing insulin at all, you have to take insulin. You have to take those shots forever. And then if you're a type 2, sometimes it can be controlled by healthy habits and medication. So, for me, I am using both of those, a little bit of both, not a little bit. I guess I'm all in with the medication and the lifestyle changes. So that's how I'm managing mine. So this is my question to you guys. Do you know if, what do you think? Now, based on what you know and what you've heard, can type 2, not type 1 that doesn't produce insulin at all, can type 2, which is the lifestyle, can that be is there a cure for diabetes? Can that be cured? Put your answer in the chat. What do you think? Is that something that can be cured? What do you guys think? So type 2 diabetes is, can you cure that? What do you guys think? Put your answer in the chat. Hey, are you guys, what do you think? Cure or no cure? So let's see. I'm seeing people. Okay. So Taisha says it can be reversed, but I'm not sure if that's considered cured. Okay, that's a good answer. Good answer. What do you guys say? Mia says no. There is no cure. Okay. Okay. What else? What are we thinking? Delilah says, oh, Jerlene says yes, if it's been maintained for years. Okay. Okay. Delilah says autoimmune disorders are not curable. Okay. Type 2 can be reversed. Type 1 cannot. Okay. Okay. All right, very good. So you guys are pretty on point. So, and I thought this was interesting because I always heard that type 2 cannot be cured at first. But then I remember when Sherry Shepherd was on The View, and she came out that she was a type 2 diabetic, and she did this healthy, lifestyle change. And I thought I remember, now I could be wrong, Sherry, if you're out there and you get a hold of this one of these days. But I thought that she was saying like hers was reversed, right? And so I just kind of researched, what they said, what the researchers say. And so basically you can reverse it. So I think somebody used that word. That was Taisha. You can reverse it. How can you reverse type 2 diabetes? It's really all lifestyle changes, weight loss, healthy eating, especially protein, vegetables, lean protein, fewer sugary foods and processed carbs can lower the blood sugar, exercise, reducing your stress, and then of course medication. Some patients need medication. So a combination of all those things are going to help you reverse it. But it says, is it gone forever? Even if the blood sugar levels go back to normal, type 2 diabetes can return if the healthy habits aren't followed. And that's why they say it's in remission instead of a cure. So a cure means, I guess, you can never get it again. It's what they're considering a cure. So being reversed or being in remission means that as long as you're maintaining the healthy lifestyle changes and you're maintaining that status quo, you won't get it back. But as soon as you slip up, you're back being a diabetic. So that is the difference. So there technically is no cure because you can always get it again, right? So that is the difference. So I thought, wow, that's interesting. And I can see how it makes sense. So basically you're managing it. So I guess when I get my blood sugar level, let's say if I get it to 5.0, right? And then I guess I will not be considered a type 2 diabetic anymore, but I will be considered in remission. I would not be considered cured because if I don't keep it up with whatever I'm doing, it could come back. So just for out there for anybody, I've known people who had diabetes, years and years ago, and they really didn't do much about it at the time. They just kind of said, oh, I feel good. I'm not, taking medication or whatever. And then over time, they started to get worse and worse and worse. And then they started taking the medication. But by that time, it was too late because the body had already started, doing its damage. And so, my message would be to anybody who suspects they have high blood sugar or who doesn't, if you don't know what your blood sugar level is, I would go and get it checked out. I would get your fasting blood glucose checked. I would also get your A1C checked. And, you have to go to a doctor, but you don't have to have a doctor to go there. They have clinics, they have different places, I'm sure around your town, your city, your state, where you could go. They also have free health checks at different places. I remember years ago, I used to go to the grocery store and this is at this time, I wasn't anywhere near diabetic. And I used to get they would have like some checks and stuff there, and I would just get my blood checked just to know. And I always was prided myself on having like great, blood sugar levels. So it's like it just all went out of whack, right? It just all went out of whack. But I was priding myself on that. So I would definitely get checked out because, that blood sugar it's key, right? It's damaging, your blood vessels as we speak if you're not doing anything about it. And so it just kind of makes me want to be a lot more on top of my health hearing about his struggle because again, he had all the money in the world and he was in denial about his health, which I think a lot of us admit that we were like that too before, we started taking our GLP-1 medication. So whatever, your wake up call was or whatever, if you're waiting for your wake up call, it could be people out there listening that's waiting for a wake up call. If you're waiting for your wake up call, let this be your wake up call. Let that be your wake up call. No matter how much money you have, no matter how good you look, no matter how cool you are, you can't cure diabetes. You actually have to do something about it. You can't just wait. And I know, people just take a pill too. A lot of times people will take that pill what is that, metformin. I know a lot of people who, had told me, oh, you just need to take the pill and, it'll control your blood sugar and you'll be fine. And, I thought to me, it reminded me of putting a Band-Aid on a scar, right? The scar is still there. The Band-Aid is just covering it up temporarily. And I just did not want to do that. So, but I know a lot of people have that thought, oh, I'm just going to take a pill and I'll be fine. And I think they don't realize, the pill is just putting a Band-Aid over it. It's not really curing it, right? And so over time, next thing you know, you're having all these severe issues with your organs when it's something that you could have treated, before you got to that point. So that's just my little PSA, out there for people, go get your blood sugar level checked, go get your A1C checked, go to the doctor. If you don't have a doctor, go to a clinic in your area, I think you can even do that at like urgent cares. They'll just take your blood and do your blood sugar and all of that. Get your blood pressure checked. That's another thing you can do. And, you can monitor those things at home. I do realize that, but I think it's, especially if you're somebody who hasn't been going at all, I think it's important to go to a healthcare provider so that they can, basically support you. You know what I'm saying? Like explain it, break it down, what this means, what it doesn't mean. So does anybody, let's see what people in the chat are saying about this whole diabetes. Yeah, diabetes, it scares me because I always think about limbs getting chopped off, right? So I'm going to the comments that people are talking about. I took Mounjaro on Sunday and I was supposed to hold it, Jerlene says. I'm scheduled for March 6th. Thank you for keeping me in prayer. Okay, now I thought you were February 27th. Did you, somebody told me they were having a procedure, not January, February 27th. I thought that was you. Am I off on the day? Is somebody in here having a procedure February 27th? Because I wrote that down. The date. Delilah says, but good luck on March 6th. You have to come back and we'll say a little prayer for you March 6th. Okay, so you're taking Mounjaro. Okay, very good. Delilah says you can have access to any care, but if you don't actually make the effort, yeah, and you have to go. You have to go and get that care. Delilah says, oh, people are saying hello. Oh, Jerlene, I can see just fine. Okay, people can see me. Okay, so people are guessing, Chinese food was what his last meal was. And I'm always thinking when, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, people who, specialize in cooking that Chinese cuisine. But when I think of Chinese food, I think of MSG and a bunch of sodium. Is that what other people think? Is that just me? And, I love Chinese food. That's a tradition in my family on, Christmas Eve, we get Chinese food and watch Christmas movies, make cookies for Santa, the whole 9 yards. And, starting from years ago with my grandmother, my mom, my parents, so I love Chinese cuisine. But now that I am older and, started having some health issues, I thought, no. So I'm trying to think, did we eat that? I can't remember if we ate that this past Christmas. I have to ask my daughter because she remembers. But yeah, I said to myself, I'm going to have to give up this tradition, right? Because it's not the healthiest thing I should be eating around that time. So Taisha says, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Taisha. That is why people try, Delilah says, and go. They say I can stay eating healthy. I want anything can trigger me. It's like a drug addict or alcoholic. You can't say you can't have a drink or of choice. Why is food different? Well, yeah, and I think food is a little different because it's the one thing that you have to do, right? You don't have to drink alcohol to make it, but you got to eat some sort of food, even if you're eating the healthiest, the best food. So I think that's the difference, but I do definitely think there are food addicts, and I definitely think they need help and therapy, just like somebody who is considered, an alcoholic or a drug addict. I really think so. Type 1, okay, we talked about that. Yeah, type 1 is an autoimmune disease where the body attacks its own insulin-producing cells, while type 2 is primarily caused by insulin resistance. Yes, and that's why that one can be reversed. So you guys had some great insight into that. Mia, hello, Mia. So no cure, just reversed. Yes, no cure, just reversed. Manage, not sure about cure, would still need to maintain healthy habits. Yeah, so you're right, Pamela, that you still have to maintain those healthy habits or you're going to go back. Type 2 can be reversed, but medically speaking, you be a type 2 until the end. Once the diagnosis is given, it will just be well managed. I know, and I don't like that. I don't like that being labeled for the rest of my life with something. But I think it is a constant reminder that I need to do better for myself. So that part, I get. But yeah, that's just kind of disheartening. Taisha said that would definitely be a great motivation to continue with the lifestyle changes. It definitely will. Hey, the whole heal you. So I want to ask you, Kofia, the whole heal you. Are you back? Are you back? Yay, it's good to see you. Look at you. Oh my goodness, you look so great in your videos too. Delilah says, excuse me, Miss Ma'am, when you get the A1C down, not if. Yes, 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 yes. I should say to correct me. That's right. I gotta think like I know it's happening, right? I gotta own that. Hi, Kofia said hello to everyone. Okay, everybody saying hello to Kofia. Debbie says, hey, Debbie. Debbie says diabetes is a nightmare. Stuff stops working inside too. Yes, it even sounds like it's, traumatic. Delilah says, I have an aunt who eats and she's eating crab she shouldn't be eating, and she's eating and shooting up insulin. Oh gosh, her insulin levels, her glucose. Some people don't care about the consequences. Yeah, and I just think that person doesn't really see the need for a change. Probably they're gonna have to have a wake up call. Jarlene says, yes, that was you. So did you change your date from? Is that what you're saying? You took the Mounjaro. So is that why you changed your date? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused by that. But yeah, I was all set to for that tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is February 27th. So now you switched it. So I have to write that down. Delilah, that was Jerlene. She said she rescheduled due to taking the shot when it should have been omitted. Okay, I didn't catch that part. Oh, okay. Oh man. So that's okay. You got to reschedule. Chinese people aren't eating what they feed us. You don't think so, Jen? Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, well, let's see. Jerlene says, my son is a type 1 and was misdiagnosed for a while. So what was he misdiagnosed as? Being a type 2? Was it confused with that or a whole nother type of disease or something? Delilah says, yes, you have to eat to survive, but you have to eat sugar, table salt, and carb-laden food to do so. Yeah. You don't have to eat that. You're back. Yay. Hey, it's Darian. We're having a type 1 and type 2 diabetes conversation here. Trying to encourage people to get that A1C checked and to and then practice those healthy lifestyle habits. Let's see. I think she just doesn't understand the reality of type 2 diabetes. Probably not. Like she has to watch some of these videos, or you have to know somebody maybe, for it to be a wake up call. I don't like being called a drug addict for life. I don't accept that. I believe we can heal and be changed regardless of the terms medicine uses. Yeah, I think yes, I just think labeling you that forever is a bit harsh to me. There's so much discussion about type 2 diabetes and if it can be reversed into remission or managed. So many factors, but I'm praying for all with the disease of diabetes types 1 and 2. Yes, and when I was doing some research, Darium, it says that it cannot be cured because it could come back. So if something is cured, you're done with it. It's not coming back. If you don't maintain your healthy lifestyle habits and change, if you get your A1C down and you're considered not a diabetic anymore, because it could come back, they just consider it in remission, but or reverse, but not cured. So, and that makes a lot of sense. It really does. So he was, so they were confusing the type 1 with the type 2. I'm surprised because the type 1, you're not making insulin at all. So, wow. Well, I'm glad they figured that out, and hopefully he's getting the help that he needs. And then people are saying, hello, hello, hello. All right, so let's change our topic. So that's our that's our diabetic situation. We're gonna talk about next. Just a little, to touch back on to that the case where the rapper was suing Lyft. And one of the things I found interesting is I was getting comments on that video. I got a lot of comments, and a lot of the comments, people were saying that, basically they, the in my comment section, I don't know about her comment section, but in my comment section, people were saying that basically, she weighed too much. She shouldn't have been in the car in the first place. She shouldn't be I shouldn't say in the car. She should not have tried to get in the car in the first place. And, people are not buying her story that she fit into her best friend's, car. I guess. And she said, yeah, it's growing up, she had a Prius, and she was always, bigger, and she could fit in the Prius at 500 plus pounds easily. So, I was talking with Delilah because I was watching Delilah's video, and Delilah has this video talking about this. Delilah did an experiment. So Delilah, in the chat, you might want to tell us about the experiment you did, and kind of, if I, don't tell it quite right. But Delilah did an experiment in a small size car. I don't know if this was the exact car she was driving in. And guess what? Delilah could not fit in the seatbelt. And she took a picture of it and sent it to me, and I didn't show it because I thought she was going to show it in her video. She's making a video, but I just thought, what in the world? Delilah could not fit in that seatbelt. So basically, Delilah just wanted to prove that that she couldn't probably get in the seatbelt either. So then it comes down to, so she's suing based on weight discrimination, and the state she lives in, Michigan, they have laws against weight discrimination. So what I thought about is, in life in general, there are some things that just have weight requirements. It just is. And I guess, I don't know if Lyft has a policy or that individual, driver has a policy where they would list, because, remember, like, you go to amusement parks and they have up signs with weight and height requirements. So because Lyft didn't list that, is, I don't know if that's, I know anybody can sue. You don't have to really even have a case. If a lawyer takes your case, sometimes it can get thrown out, and sometimes they pursue it and take it through the court system anyway. But I just wonder what is her grounds to stand on. And the Lyft driver, I don't know if you guys remember, but the Lyft driver told us that her grounds to stand on, this is the rapper Dank DeMoss, D-A-N-K DeMoss. And they were saying that, basically what she has going for her is the fact that the driver basically told her, like, he talked to her. They said the driver shouldn't have said a word to her and just called her and canceled the ride, and another ride would have come. So they said he made his mistake by speaking to her. But when I listened to what he said, he didn't really, I just thought he handled her with kindness. And of course, he didn't let her get in the car. So I'm pretty sure she was embarrassed, upset, and all that. But I did think he handled her with kindness. So anyway, I looked up places where you would need to have a weight. There could possibly be weight requirements for safety, functionality, or how it operates. So what do you think some of those things are? Don't use an amusement park, because I already said that, the amusement park rides. So put some things in the chat. What do you think are places where you would have to have a weight, because a lot of us are thinking she's messing this up in the future for some people that are larger size people that have to still function in this world. But people were saying, she's messing it up for us because she's trying to sue about this particular thing. And so I just wonder, what are some, and I don't know, hopefully maybe this video could get to her, but I think her lawyer has the Lyft driver, right, to refer to what he's actually said to her. But I think the Lyft people have a good case, because I also think that there are things in the world that we have to abide by, like, that just is unsafe, right? You have to have a weight requirement. You have to have some kind of requirement. So what do you guys think that is? Besides an amusement park ride, because I use that example, what else are some common things that you would need to have a weight requirement for? And write that in the chat. What do you guys think? It's a ton of them. It's more than I even thought of. What do you think? Hey, Beverly. Hey, Jen. Hey, who else came in here? I think Kim J I saw in here. Hey, Kim J. So what do you guys think? Put some things in the chat. What do you think? Debbie says, are you saying I don't know? I don't know what you're saying. I do. I Don. What do you think? Anybody have any guesses? What do you think is I don't think she has a case. Well, it's still in court, so they didn't throw it out. It's not thrown out yet. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna win it. What could win it for her, for the Lyft people, is one of her main things she said was she's ridden in Lyfts before, the same car. Like, she's ridden in those cars. And I don't think that this is the only thing, but if they could, get those records out from Lyft to see if she in fact have driven in those cars. But I would say, if she can't buckle up a seatbelt, how is that safe? That's one of the things that they could say. She can't buckle that seatbelt up. So if she's not buckling the seatbelt up, already she has something working against her. So Mia is saying go-karts, and so ATVs have a weight requirement. I didn't realize that. That's pretty interesting. It's Darium said common things with weight requirements: zip lining, yes; airline seats, yes; triggering. Horseback riding, of course, yes. And Perfectly Pamela says closed MRI. Yeah, that's something else that has. I didn't think about that one. Mia says motorcycles, yes. I wonder what is the weight limit on motorcycles. I've seen some big folks on there, like 2 of them before. Was it thrown out? Okay, I don't know. I didn't hear it was thrown out. I wonder. Let me look that up while you guys are writing in the chat. Let's look that up right now. So was the if it was thrown out, poor thing. That's why people think she did it just to get some what do you call that? Publicity. Okay, so was Dank DeMoss's, let's see. Was her case thrown out? Somebody else is gonna be, it's gonna be another person if not her. It was not dismissed, they're saying. So yeah, I don't know why people saying it was dismissed. That it was not. I don't think it was dismissed at all. Oh, you guys have some good ones. Cars have a weight capacity. Delilah says elevators. Yes, elevators do have a max. That is so true. Operating tables. I didn't know operating tables had a max. Mia says I had a weight limit of 350 pounds to have a colonoscopy done. Bigger has a more extensive sedation machine. Okay, I didn't know that. Bed frames. Okay. The whole hill U says elevators, park swings, trampoline parks. Okay, yeah, trampoline parks have a weight restriction, Darium says, and becoming an airline pilot. Oh my goodness. Wait. Becoming an airline pilot has a restriction. Really? I never knew that. Scales, yeah, we know the famous scales. Yes, scales do. Surgery. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, I kind of looked up some things too. You guys have some good ones. Office chairs. Okay. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So I looked up some. So I saw for transportation, they said airline seats, which a lot of you have, helicopter rides. Did you guys know that helicopter rides have a weight requirement? And I don't think I've ever been in a helicopter. I was tempted in Vegas. You know how you go to Vegas and you could, go in the helicopter and go over the, go, over those mountains and things. I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that. So, but yeah, I know people do that all the time. They love those helicopter rides. Go-karts. Now, go-karts I can see. It's hard to even get in a go-kart. I would say if you're over 350, I don't even know if you could get in the go-kart. Elevators, Delilah, I remember said that. Bridges, did you guys know that bridges had a weight capacity? And I just recently read here where a bridge collapsed. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and a couple of people did make it. Yeah, that's pretty sad. So that tells me that bridge was super old and needed work probably. But I don't know that for sure. I'm just, thinking. Boats and canoes. Who knew that boats and canoes had weight requirements? I did not. I did not. But it makes sense. Bicycles and scooters. I think somebody said that. What else? Ride share and taxi. So isn't a ride share, isn't that like Lyft? Isn't Lyft considered a ride share? It says some vehicles have suggested weight capacity for passenger comfort and safety, which would be that seatbelt. So that's why I think her case is not going to go far. Trucking and freight. Commercial trucks have strict weight limits to prevent road damage and accidents. So all those things make sense, make sense. Delilah says box springs, bungee jumping. Very good. Because I think, I think it's important that we say this because I think that, when people were criticizing her, and I think in our last live when we talked about this, we were, we didn't give her we didn't really give her, the benefit of the doubt because a lot of people just thought she was just, this was ridiculous, right? Including us. And, a lot of us in here said, she makes like, the plus size community, overweight community, the GLP-1 community that's trying to slim down, this frivolous lawsuit is making us look bad. So I just wanted to, come here and say, so she knows, so everybody knows, you don't have to be against people that are overweight or because we're all trying to slim down, right? So we're not against it. We're just saying like something, it just make it make sense, right? If you're gonna file a lawsuit, make it make sense. Let's think about the safety first, right? Because a lot of things are safety first. Let's think about how safe it is. Let's think about that guy's car, as small as it was. There's a such thing as suspensions, right? That you can mess up someone's suspensions. And that's not to, say, anything about you in a negative way, but we're just saying like you have a right to be whatever size you are, but there also are some limitations on what you could do at that size. Just like physically she's limited, she's also going to be limited with things in society. And I guess that's the point, I wanted to get across because, I don't want people to think like, oh, they're slimming down, so they're bashing her. It's not that. It's just that she has to, face it. At 500 pounds, some of your choices are limited. Just like at 300 pounds, some things were limited for me as well, too. And, I had to face those facts. But, so what do you think about people that are bigger people that think you should accommodate, though? What do you think about that? So if you're a bigger person, do you feel like we have a right to be accommodated? What do you think about that? Let's see. So, okay, let me finish this and then I'll go to the chat. So other than the transportation, we have amusement parks, roller coaster rides, which I said zip lines, which I think Darian said, bungee jumping, Darian said, skydiving. Just imagine that skydiving. You got to go up in that little plane and then you got to jump out with that parachute. So I don't know about that. I don't know if I was 500 pounds, if I'd be thinking about doing that. I'm afraid like at 248 or how many pounds do I weigh now? 245, I'm afraid. Sports and fitness, trampolines, gym equipment, horseback riding, paragliding, and hang gliding. All those have weight requirements. And then Pamela was on point with this. Medical, hospital beds. I think somebody said surgery. Delilah might have said surgery. MRI. Pamela said MRI and X-ray machines. I did not know they had a weight limit, but I guess it makes sense because you have to fit into the confine, that machine. So that does make sense. Surgery and anesthesia. I did not know there was a weight requirement for that. Now it says certain procedures have weight restrictions due to risk factors. So I guess like afraid that you're not going to, wake up, and maybe, and also, I think they do the anesthesia, how much they give you is based on your weight. So it makes perfect sense now that I'm thinking about it. This was another thing Delilah kept saying is car seats. Strollers, yeah, strollers have a weight requirement. I didn't think about strollers. Bunk beds, can you imagine bunk beds have a weight requirement? High chairs, baby swings, so it's even touching our little ones. There's a weight requirement. Furniture, and this is so true. I remember, when I was getting my bed, I got one of those things on my bed that makes the bed move up and down, like the frame of it. And so, and I was just checking like to see if there was a weight requirement and making sure that I didn't, supersede it. And I did not. But, I was worried because I'm thinking, a lot of things like once you get over that 300-pound mark, a lot of things might be, up to 350. And then after that, you're just kind of teetering on, you might not make the weight requirement. So, yeah, it's stressful. A lot of that stuff stressed me out. But, and then I also, my daughter has a bed frame. I bought her a bed, when she turned, I forget how old she was when she got that like bed. It's like a full-size bed. And I looked at the weight requirements on that because I thought I want to be able to, lay on her bed or sit on her bed, not worry about it breaking. So, and so a lot of those beds, they didn't go up to 400 pounds. I remember it was like in the threes. So that's a real thing. That is a real thing. So furniture, ladders, yeah, I guess ladders would, inflatable pools and water slides. So I wonder at the water park, are they stopping folks and saying you can't get on this water slide? I guess they would be. And another last thing I saw was drones that also have a weight requirement. Now it says some have payload limits for attachments like having a camera on it. So I was not aware of that. All right. So look at all those things. All those things have a weight requirement. So what do you guys think? Do you think that if you are a bigger person, let's say 400 and plus pounds, because I think Jen said last week it's levels to this weight, right? It is levels. And even your body at different levels function differently. So do you guys think that 400 pounds and above, do you think that the world should be accommodating those people? And when I say accommodating, I mean like there's a lot of things they can't, meet the weight requirement on, like, surgeries. Do you think that should be accommodated? And I know some places do. What about, amusement parks? What about all this stuff? Because I think for health reasons, we can agree, like, let's accommodate and let's make adjustments. Well, and maybe for some of the other things, but what do you guys think about the amusement parks? What do you think about the airplane? I know Delilah made a point about Delilah was making a point about, the airline stewardess. I guess that if you work, as an airline stewardess, you have to be able to get down those aisles. And aren't those aisles kind of narrow? So I just think that would not be something you should be suing about now, that because you just have to fit down that aisle. I mean, there's just no way. Plus you got to fit down the aisle. You got to pass out things. So I think that's what I'm saying. At some point you got to be realistic about, what's going on. So we have some new people in the chat. Let's see who we have. We have Real Talk with Elaine. Hey, Real Talk with Elaine. She's up in here. We have Mel to the B. CC. I love saying this. CCS, Chief Operating Officer. It reminds me of her and Mia when I see that. And then did I see anybody? Beverly. Hey, Beverly, I saw her come in the chat. All right. So we're talking weight discrimination and if it's fair. So I'm interested to know, seriously, what do you guys think about accommodating a bigger person? Let's talk 4 pounds and up, because I know we can all agree that it's levels, right, to the weight. And so let's say if you are 400 plus pounds, what accommodations do you think it's fair that we should make? And maybe you think it's everybody. I don't know. What do you guys think? Um, let's see. So let me see. I'm gonna go up here in the chat. All right. So we have. Oh, somebody said your bed. Yeah, I feel like having it filmed is what made me feel like she's just acting out. Okay, that probably weight requirements are for the safety of the person, the thing, and others. Yes, Kim, you are so right for sure. And people are agreeing with Delilah, and that's Elaine joining us. Taisha said that's a tough question. What's tough about it, Taisha? Let's talk about it. What is tough? Mia said, plain and simple, that they have to keep her safe. She needed a van to be safely transported. Yes. Okay. All right. Correct, Delilah. People know what's what, face reality. It is what it is at the moment, but it would be nice to have accommodations for some of the things mentioned above, especially if medical. Yes, and I agree, Kim. I think medical, that we should make accommodations for sure. Darium says, as a person of size, I think that a lot of things should be more size inclusive. Accommodation is a double-edged sword because I look at accommodation for accessibility. All right, so expound on that. So you think, so give us an example of more size inclusive. Like what would you think? Now I will say, when you go to movie theaters, I remember back in the day, used to go to movie theaters and the seat used to be so small, like at the theater. Like I take my daughter to musicals and plays, and those seats are pretty small, there. So if you were a bigger person, and I would say bigger meaning, if we're talking 400 and up, I don't know if you want to talk 350 and up, but I'm at least saying four. I'm saying four. I don't know if they're sitting in those seats comfortably, but now I think about the movies. The movies used to be like that here, and now the movies are huge recliners. Like I'm telling you, a 400-pound person could fit in there just fine. Like I'm fitting in there, and I could fit if I had a date, we could both fit in those seats. My daughter could certainly fit in there in the seat with me. I mean, it's bigger, it's nice, it's comfy, and you can recline back in them. And I'm sure that's all over. But I'm just saying. So I don't know if that was done for bigger people, but it was a help for a bigger person. So Darium, what do you specifically think that we should talk about? Because you're right. When you accommodate, you don't change it. Accommodations doesn't mean change. Accommodations means you take what you have and you make that work within that, within whatever you have. Whereas, and it just reminds me of being an educator. We make accommodations, but when we totally change something, we call that modifying it. So, yeah, so I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Even everyday medications. Okay, people are saying hello. Okay, Dario. OMG, it's real talk with Elaine. That's so funny. Okay. When you guys use exclamation points or you say OMG, I love like saying that because I just think it's so fun. I love when people like make their words come to life. You can just tell I'm an educator. I get excited about that kind of stuff. So Delilah says standard camping chairs have 250. That's it. So I'm barely making it. I'm barely making it on that chair. That's a little ridiculous. Mel came in saying, hey, DD and friends. Hello there. Okay, so people are saying hello. This is so funny. Oh, Sookie, it's Mel the Marvelous with all the titles. You guys are so funny. Elaine says, I'm just jumping in, but assuming we're talking about the Uber situation, yes, I think Uber Lyft companies should incorporate inclusive options. So that guy, I think they do have like the XL, Elaine. So they have XL cars or vans, but that guy was in a Mercedes, and it was a smaller one. And if you've ever been in those small Mercedes, they are small. So, but she was saying her BFF, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a Mercedes. And she was saying her BFF has that same type of car and she fits in just fine. And then she said she never orders an XL before. But so they do have bigger cars for, bigger people. So I guess that's the accommodation. Now, this is interesting, though. She said she never orders a big car. She always orders regular size. Now, to me, I just think, why, why not just order the XL? But she feels like and I saw her on the Breakfast Club, I saw her interview, and she just doesn't feel like she has to. She thinks that the world should accommodate her, which led me to my question. What do you guys think about that? Mia says, I swear, Dank just wanted fame and money. It's a responsible thing to check ahead to see if you're going to fit in something. Like I wouldn't ride in the back of a seat because my knees jammed in the seat, even in a truck. Okay, so you'll check ahead, which makes sense if you know that you might need to. Delilah says, I don't think accommodations are the same as what some people are expecting. An accommodation could be a bigger car. Yeah, so that's why I was asking Darium. So do you think an accommodation would be like what would they need to do with the car? Because she ordered the car, So how would Lyft know that she's this size unless you have passengers put in their size and then people could call weight discrimination on that? How would they know they're picking up a 500 and plus pound person? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Kim J says, yes, people can get stuck in that closed MRI machine if they didn't have weight requirements. The accommodation they provide is the open MRI. There are some MRIs that can accommodate up to 700 pounds. And you know what? I think rightfully so, because that's medical and that can affect whether you live or die. Now, getting in a small car versus a extra large car, that might hurt your self-esteem, but it's not going to hurt you, medically. So, yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking on that. What are you guys saying? Oh no, didn't call my government. That is too funny. Okay, let's see. Okay, you have to fit in the jump seat with the belt buckled and pass a reach test. For what? You have to fit in the jump seat. What are we talking about? What kind of car? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. So Mia says, I was told MRI can burn your skin if you are jammed into it. Oh, I had to reschedule because I couldn't fit in it. So I always was checking weight requirements of individual machines. All right, so they jammed you in it. I'm surprised they didn't just reschedule your appointment to a different machine like the one Kim talked about, the open one. I had to reschedule because I couldn't, so I was always checking the weight requirements of the individual machine. So I'm surprised you're doing that versus the person who, you know what I'm saying? Like you're doing that versus the person that's in there. I don't know. Like the worker, the medical professional, I guess, when they're taking your requirements. Okay. So yeah, okay. All right, so we have people saying hi, Kim saying what's up to Elaine. We read Mia, Real Talk with Elaine is saying hello. Mel, we're all human. I would show empathy in all cases personally. Yes. Well, what about the Uber driver situation? Do you think the guy was wrong not to put her in the car, Mel? What do you think about that? Everyone is important and I feel it should be inclusive. Yes, I do too. But when you say that, Geraldine, though, like, what if it's for safety reasons, though? That's what we're saying. Because I think being inclusive is you should be, yeah, for sure. But I think when it comes to the safety part of it, then that's where you kind of have to draw a line. I guess that's my thoughts anyway. I feel like accommodations aren't always free either, especially since you have to pay for surgery, flights, cars, chairs, beds, and so on and so forth. Yeah, then you guys know, if you're plus size, and I get that the material is bigger or more, I should say, you have to, it takes more to sew it. But it always used to bother me when, smaller people would go and we used to have a store called Dots that was known as the store that sold $10 things. And when they first started out, the clothes were kind of cheap, like cheaper quality, not the nicest quality. And over time, it got better. But the clothes were $10, $12, once they started making the quality better and people were always in there buying stuff. I mean, they started to do their thing and it went out of business. I don't know what happened. But when they started off, it was just, you couldn't really, it's like the plus size stuff looked like a curtain. And then when they added color to it, it looked like color curtains. They didn't have any style, any pizzazz. And then eventually, like I said, they got better. It was like, you could get the same outfit a cute outfit in a small size, and they made it in the bigger size. And so, but it used to be, the smaller sizes would be like $10 because it was called Dot, because everything was $10. But the bigger sizes would be more like $13, $14, $15. And that used to annoy me so much. But I do understand it takes more material to make that bigger outfit. I really do get that. What do you guys think even about that? Okay, all right. So we have people saying hello, hello. An accommodation could be to lose 50 pounds, and then we could do this surgery. Okay. Well, isn't that what has to happen with bariatric surgery? That's what they do. Most people I know who've had it, or even if I heard stories about people who had it, they had to lose. Most people have to lose weight before they can even get it. So they're requiring you to do that. Let's see, shower seats and bathtubs. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're saying those should be having more accommodations. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. An example would be to go to the doctor's office. There are various size chairs. Some are wider than others, and some have no arms. Yeah, I like that. Yes, that's a good way um get that equality, right? Where you still have a chair. You don't have the exact same chair as somebody else, but you don't need the exact same chair as somebody else. So I like that. Fair is not always equal, right, Darian? Fair is not always equal. We gotta remember that. The DeMoss situation is a one-off. The Dank, you meant Dank. It's so funny, Dan. If you are a student in a larger body, those desks that have a chair and the desk attached must be hard. Okay, okay, yes, 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 yes. Those a lot of schools have gotten away from those, probably for that reason, right? They used to have that little part in the front. Now it's off. It's off. They're sitting at tables. Um, she loves your title, Mel. That's too funny. Mia says, I love the varying sizes of chairs. Otherwise, I always look for a two-seater because I wouldn't fit comfortably. Very good. So that's good. So somebody who benefited from that. I attribute an accommodation when it can be done. It's not like a Lyft driver could really do anything in that situation to accommodate her. I think as someone who has obesity, order a larger car. Yes, and she just flat out said on the Breakfast Club she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to, she shouldn't need to, that she feels like the world should accommodate her. And I do agree for some things, it's just why not? Like why wouldn't we? But for some things, I think it's just you have to also be in realization that you are this way, and you also might have to make some accommodations, right? Because of your weight. Just like I said, she does it in her everyday life. She can't, do certain things. She probably, can't always bend over to tie her shoe, or I'm just using this as an example. Maybe she has people help her tie her shoe or do certain things because she said when she bends down, she's out of breath. She's rapping, you can hear she's out of breath. So just like she probably can't rap a long song, she might have to cut that down. That's an accommodation. So again, she's making accommodations in her everyday life as a 500 plus pound woman. So society is also going to make some of those accommodations, is what I'm saying. Some things I think are a no-brainer, right? That we should just do because we're all human, and she still has to, live in this world. But some things, you can't be in denial about. I think it's this again, you can't expect people to give what you don't want to give. So she wants people to bend for her, but she doesn't want to bend. And I think you can't have it both ways, I guess is what I'm saying. Yes, Beverly, I see her. She shows her title and wears it like a glass. She is not playing. You said I agree with. Okay, Pamela, you meant to say I agree with. Okay, we're going to take a couple of these, and then we have to we got to talk about Eli Lilly. That's what I really want to talk about, Eli Lilly. So Mia says, my camping chair I bought is a 400-pound limit because I broke some plastic chairs and got cut up by the plastic. Jeez Louise. Beginning bigger, some dining room chairs are an accommodate. No, they are. Dining room chairs are the worst. I can attest to that. Mel says, I don't think the Dank DeMoss focus is relevant to the greater issue of accommodation. Okay. And why not, though? I don't understand why not. Okay, wait. Here she says, accommodating overweight people isn't just about comfort. It's about fairness, safety, and ensuring that everyone can fully participate in life without unnecessary barriers. Right. So that's why people were saying with her lawsuit, it seemed a little bit frivolous because, she's suing about this when she could have just ordered a bigger car, or when she saw that he was uncomfortable with her weight and his size of a car, maybe she could have taken it a different way. So I think we all believe in accommodating and making people comfortable and all of that. I just think sometimes you got to realize when that's maybe not possible for you to do, right? So like, for instance, on the airplane, I think having an airplane extender is a big thing. It's great. But I also see those airplane seats are so small, and sitting when you're sitting on in the airplane seat that's small and you're over into the next person's seat, I do see why they would probably charge you, that second price, but I think it should be like an upfront thing. I don't think you should, and I don't know because I haven't seen this happen. I've only heard about it, but I don't think you should get to the in the seat and then they say, "Oh, ma'am, you need another buy another seat." I just think that's so embarrassing, so humiliating, and I think there's a way to kind of do that up front. So, but if I were a bigger person, I think I would be advocating for myself and not wanting to be embarrassed and stuff and saying, let's make this arrangement. But then I also could be like a Dank DeMoss who feels like they should accommodate me. I shouldn't have to do anything ahead of time. I shouldn't have to pay for an extra seat, even though I'm, some of my space, I mean, maybe taking up other space. I just think you got to be realistic. I just think you got to be realistic in this obesity thing. I think we have to be, realistic on both ends. Let's see. Pamela says, I just watched your video before hopping over to the live. Yes, yes, yes. And I did too. I watched that video. And she also has a short, the grocery store haul. So if you're thinking about groceries, you want to go over there. You're going to go over there and check that out. And that's to Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life. So we have Real Talk with Elaine that's also making videos here. I was gonna say it's Wednesday night. Okay, it's Wednesday night. I know Elaine has a lot going on with her personal life. She's taking on the challenge to be involved with some political things. So I'm sure that keeps you really busy. Real Talk with Elaine says, in response to the fact she fits in a Mercedes C-Class, the lies, the lies, the lies, in my Candy Burris voice. The lies, the lies, the lies. Yes, yes, yes. But she says her best friend Elaine has one of those and she fits right in it. And she didn't say whether she sat in the front or the back. I don't remember her saying that, whether she sat in the front or the back, but I remember her saying that. It's Darian. One thing the ride shares could do, categorization that is more effective. For instance, capacity of 300 pounds, headroom of 30 inches, or fits two standard size adults. So you're not what you're signing up for. I think that's excellent. That is excellent, right? That is excellent. I think that's a great point, great idea. It needs to be more spelled out. And I even think, that's what I said. I wonder why they don't have anything, especially if you're driving in Michigan. And I would think that they would be making you familiar with the laws, but maybe I'm wrong. And I would think you would know weight discrimination is something that's in your state a law that you cannot do. And I would think that it being a ride share, not only that, because this thing, whatever, it was 200-pound people trying to get in the car. And they all had you try to squeeze in the back. Like, what happens? She's one person, but what about if it was more than one person? So I wondered that too. It's just a lot of things to think about. But that's a great idea. That reach test was about pilots and flight attendants. Okay, a great point, Darian. Mel says, I agree. Feeling incredible loquacious tonight. Okay. Jerlene says, I do my due diligence even when having surgery by calling ahead and asking for a larger hospital gown. So you're not exposed. Wow, you even do that? That is so cool that you think about that ahead of time. I never did stuff like that. I just get there and see it. But if the plane situation, if I had got to the point where it was a plane situation and I've even thought they were going to tell me a seatbelt extender is one thing, but telling you got to buy another seat, and now that's a whole nother ball game. Jeez Louise. OMG, Elaine, I agree. Lies, lies, lies. Most places don't have the open MRI. That may be why. Okay, okay. So everybody doesn't have that. Oh, Twan says, hey girl, hey. Hey, Twan. Beverly says, whenever I'm scheduled for the MRI, the pulmonary questions that they ask, one of them is your weight and if you're claustrophobic. Oh, okay. Now I don't know if I did get an MRI. Did I get an MRI? I can't remember, but I remember. What was it? Oh, it was for the coronary heart test. I don't know if that's considered an MRI, but I don't remember them asking that. But geez, Louise. Okay, but I think the knowledge is power, right? The more you ask, the better it is. Okay, let's see. So Twan is saying hello. Beverly's saying hello to Twan. Okay, we have Elaine says, exactly, Darium. That's what I was trying to say. They need more regulations. Okay. Delilah says, Darium, you truly believe a substantial overweight person doesn't already know they need to order bigger than a compact car? I don't need a disclaimer. I already know I won't safely fit. All right. So what is Darium saying? Darium, I gotta read this how he's saying. The Twan is twanning. You probably aren't saying it like that. Hey there, Twan. I love when you guys are so animated. People are saying hello, hello, hello. Y'all changed my name and I'm married to it for 10 more days. So you can't even change your name back. You know, they do say what, 14 days? The changing the name for 14 days. Okay, see, Twan is saying hello to everybody in the chat. Twan is saying hello. Taisha, I remember Dots. Somebody remembers Dots. Oh my gosh. Yes, Dots went out of business here. Did they go out of business? Okay. Pam says she used to love Dots. Oh my goodness. Pamela says, I still have a top in my closet from Dots. Do you really? That I just got back into last week. That is so funny. We're all like all about Dots. Darian says there is nothing wrong with commitment. Well, you don't have a choice on this end. They're holding you to that. Oh, that is so funny. You know, Mel, we love this name though. Look at this. Mel is the CCS Chief Operating Officer. I just think that's so funny. You and Mia. Mia was having that on hers too. Sometimes you have to take, Beverly says, let me get back serious. Sometimes you have to take responsibility for your situation. When I travel, instead of asking for a seat extender and I purchase my own just in case they say I think she's saying just in case they say they don't have any more. Oh, I didn't even know you could purchase your own seatbelt extender. How about that? Geez, Louise. Okay, I learned something new. What is Dr. Now's bariatric requirements? Now that I don't know. Delilah says it's because open MRI machines are triple, if not more expensive than the closed. Oh, so that's why they're not just everywhere. Mia, I asked for bigger gowns and had nurses argue that I didn't need one. And I said, yes, for me to be covered, I do. Also, I learned to check because I've had people making the appointments that don't ask the weight. Okay. Yeah, because I don't remember them ever asking my weight for that. Do they? I can't remember. Beverly, I just just an FYI, if you're not legally allowed to use your own seatbelt extension because they aren't regulated by the FAA to ensure safe. So she's not legally allowed to use it, but she probably sneaks it on there, huh? And you know, when she said that, I thought, because I never heard of that, I was thinking, I wonder, if you're allowed to even do that, right? I don't know. How about that? All right, Kim says, I got an MRI in November. I was down to 214. It was so close inside that thing. I almost told her to get me out of there and reschedule me for the open MRI. I had to psych myself out and pray through it. Oh my goodness, that is too funny. Oh my gosh. So that was down pretty low. It was so close. Wow. At that weight. Jeez Louise. All right. Well, we're glad you made it out, Kim. Delilah says, I don't expect the world to change to accommodate me and my size. I have to be careful with what I do, and that's my cross to bear in my size. Okay. So you're owning that. I love that. Mia says, booths, tables, both are needed. Okay. Yeah, Mia, I don't even sit at my mom's bar because I'm scared to break the seats. Aw, aw. Okay, okay. Let's see. Mia says, I have to take my own chair to my brother's to have something to sit in. He tried to have me a little plastic chair and I laughed. Oh man. Well, at least he tried. Twan says, I exactly. I advocated for myself and purchased main plus seats when I flew to St. Lucia. Okay, okay. All right. And then Mel saying she can't wait to see Kim's new videos. They are awesome, awesome sauce. I love that. If you're productive, you know what if you're proactive, I'm sorry. I'm like, if you're productive, if you're proactive, you know what you need. There's even sizes listed in the website. So you would know if you would need to fit or if you would fit or not. And some airports have seats you could sit in if you fit in, if you fit. Okay. Some airports have seats you can sit in to see if you fit. To see if you fit. Okay, I did not know that. So I learned something new with that too. So, but you would have to be seeking these things out. Like Twan says, she's advocating for herself, and Samia sounds like she's advocating for herself. So you would also have to be seeking these out. This is the difference, I think, with people like Twan and Mia and people in this chat, is that you're doing that. That lady feels like she doesn't have to do any of this. She said she feels like the world should accommodate her. She should not have to go, out of her way to do anything extra. It should be like everybody else. So I think that's the big difference. And I do agree for some things, she's right. But I think for some things, you just have to have a weight requirement. And there's some things I didn't fit a weight requirement. I mean, it's not like, you might be saying, well, downsizing diva, you fit the weight requirement all the time. I didn't always, it was hit or miss on some things. Mia says, I'm just prepared because I don't expect others to realize my size and know I can't fit on that or be accused of breaking furniture of someone else. And I guess the issue I was coming into it was with my daughter going to amusement parks and stuff. That's the thing, going to amusement parks and stuff with her and those weight requirements. Because sometimes as a parent, you want to sit on the ride with your child. If it was just her and I, she was scared to get on by herself when she was smaller. So that's what a lot of that brought me stress. I don't want to cry about it right now because it gets sad thinking about it. Twan says, exactly, Mia, my thoughts. Beverly says, when you're on vacation, some of the excursions have a weak capacity, like in Jamaica. The rafting, you have to be under 300 pounds. Yes, we talked about that. Boats and canoes, they all have weight restrictions. Darium, Dr. Nile requires his patients to lose a percentage of weight and keep it off before even scheduling. He also says the closer to 500 or less, you are more safe. It is for you. It is the closer you are to 500 or less, you are more safe. The more safe it is for you and your surgery and recovery. Okay, well, that makes sense too. Mia says, I've had them stick me in the MRI backwards because I didn't fit and raise the bed all the way up so they didn't have to lift me on it. Wow. Okay, I didn't know they were doing stuff like that. But that's an accommodation, right? To me, that would be an accommodation for you. So they're not just sending you off, but probably they need an open MRI. See, I would be advocating for every hospital to maybe have one of those available. Oh, me, I never considered that. Yeah, I never thought of that. It sounds like it's kind of painful. Oh, Tracy Zatwan says she loves the name. She said, I thought Mia changed hers. Yeah, Mia, did you change it? But I think she changed it back or something. I don't know. It's Darium. Delilah, I think that folks lie about the size of their cars. I order XL all the time and they Purist, is that what it's called? Purist shows up. I can order a big car, but a big car shows up and it's too small. Well, she said, no, that's probably true for you. I'm sure, not saying that's true for you, but she didn't have that issue you're describing because she says she never orders XL. She never orders bigger. She always orders regular size, and she doesn't think she should have to order a different size. So that's her situation, and she's sticking to it. Kim J said, the time before the last time I got an MRI, I was okay in the machine, but the MRI from November was an older one and very close. It depends on the manufacturer of the machine. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that's true too. I'm not usually claustrophobic. Yeah. That seems scary though, like in that machine and all that stuff going on. I would be scared of that. A lot of people don't know about the seatbelts for airlines because they are sold as if they're allowed to, those extenders are allowed. I never even knew they sold extenders. Um, Delilah, I didn't even think about that. I just know that so embarrassed sometimes to ask for one, so I purchased my own on Amazon and it works. Yeah, I would do the same thing now that I know if I needed to do that, because I didn't know. But I guess if something happens, you can't, and the seatbelt goes awry, you can't blame the, the people. Lakeisha say, "Oh, Lakeisha, hey, Lakeisha, welcome." I forgot, Lakeisha's usually the first one in here in the chat between her and Taisha. So when I saw her name, I just thought, wait a minute, didn't I say hi to her already? But I remember now she wasn't in there. Remember, I wasn't here first either. You guys are all in the chat. I'm thinking I'm on here. I'm just talking. Delilah says, Darium, now I think I'm 100% valid for concern. That's when a real issue should be addressed. But you were trying to be proactive, and that's what we all need to do. Yes, I agree with that. I agree. It's Darium says, random. There are some airlines like Southwest Airlines that has a person of size clause that allows for passengers to get an additional seat. Excuse me. At no cost. Oh, okay. So I didn't know that either. That has a person of size. Now, I think that Dank DeMoss, she did talk about Southwest and how she never has to pay for an extra seat on Southwest, but she said when she was on Delta, the lady told her, we're not going to charge you this time for the extra seat. So that tells me that they must have some sort of policy in place if the lady is saying this time we're not going to charge you. Delilah says, I get it, Beverly. It's embarrassing for sure. I tell you, though, the FAs are trained to be discreet with the request, so maybe that'll help ease your mind. Not all aircrafts have the same buckle. Okay. All right. So that's good for her to know. Darium, Southwest does only, I forgot, Delilah is like the airline expert. Only when the flight has room to issue the seat free of charge. And somebody did mention that in the last live we talked about this. Otherwise, you have the option to go on the next available flight with more openings. Okay, that makes sense. And Perfectly Pamela says, Darium, I believe some will if the flight is not full. And that makes sense. Twan says, I have to be 275 or below to ride the camels when I go to Cabo in August. I'm almost there. Yes, yes, yes. And Twan, that just reminds me of you and that Peloton bike. And I never forget you talking about that Peloton bike and how you wanted to stand up on it. And it was a weight requirement. And I think you ended up doing it before that weight. You got to that weight requirement and you were fine on it. But yeah, even on her Peloton bike, we talked about that earlier. They have a weight, a weight, what do you call it? Not limit, but I guess limit. Yeah. Even when she was riding that Peloton bike and she's lost her way down, sailing through that limit. So that's a perfect example of somebody who, she had that, that goal in mind she set for herself. So maybe Dank DeMoss, I think she's on a weight loss journey on Instagram. And I think she's the last time I checked, I don't think she said she was taking, or she had her healthcare advocate on there with her on the Breakfast Club, and she said she was taking semaglutide, and so and she had lost 80 pounds, and they were like, "What? She lost 80 pounds? She didn't lose 80 pounds." So the lady was saying, well, yeah, 80 pounds on someone her size is not going to look 80 pounds like someone on your size, which we would think that would kind of be like a no-brainer. But, they were shocked when, she said she had lost 80 pounds. So I think that's a great start for her. So, she knows she recognizes she needs to slim down, and she's, slimming down. And she is, a beautiful girl. She's only going to be even more beautiful because her features are going to come out even more. But if you see her, she is gorgeous. It really is a gorgeous girl. Her makeup is popping. Whoever does her makeup, they are on point, 110%. Delilah says, all those are great examples of accommodations. Yes, they are. Okay. Traces of Twan, I totally missed your message. Okay. All right. There you go. Hey, Twan. Okay. Can't wait to see you get on that camel. I love that. I can't wait to ride it. People are saying hello. Darium says, "Oh, shucks, Twan, you're going camel ride back riding. Your birthday is going to be a vibe." Now, are you going to have are you going to be recording yourself on this camel, Twan? Because I want to see that. I got both my brothers camel rides in Toronto and they loved it. I just love that. I would love to see all of you doing that. Yeah, yes, Darium, I'll ride a camel. I'm not scared to ride a horse. Oh no, but she's scared to ride a horse. Okay, okay. Camels seem like they're more like you know, zen, right? They seem more like they're like, kind of even tempered. They're like going with the flow. They're probably too hot to be causing conflict. The horses, you stir that horse up the wrong way, it's gonna boot you right off. Twan, you're gonna make it. You will ride that camel in Cabo, have fun. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. So that's a great goal to look forward to. Mia says, I don't know why mine is showing up. CCS department. Why isn't showing up? Okay, so yeah, so if you didn't change it, why isn't it showing up? I don't know. Because it was at one point. Okay, Delilah says, Mel says, exciting. Yes, yes, yes. I love the lipstick too. And then it's okay, so the lipstick on here looks pink, but before it looks red. You guys are super fancy. Been working in reservations for an airline for 6 years. I feel like it's all I know. Okay, well, you are giving us some good info here. All right, so let's go. Let's talk about really quick. Let's see. We haven't heard from Pamela, I love these little camels you have. That's gonna be so fun, Twan. Now, what is the whole heel Jew, aka Kofia? What is she saying? The camel seems like it was higher than a horse. Riding the camel by the beach was fun. Hope you enjoy, Twan. Bouncing in and out. Oh, gonna finish up stuff here at home. Talk to y'all later. Bye, Miss Whole Heel. The whole heel you. I love that. I love that name. Yep, that's me, Darium, the airline plug. I love that. Okay, so let's see. Mel says camels be chilling. Mia says I can't find a cheaper walking pad because the weight capacity of most. Yeah, that's an example. And treadmills too. Treadmills too. They have a weight capacity. They record and take pictures for us. We have to lock up our devices. It's a money-making thing. Oh, of course, for sure. I agree. Dee Dee Dank is beautiful and her braids and makeup so nice. We were talking about her sewing and maybe creating a clothing line. Yes, I mean she could do a lot of different things. This route probably was not the best route, but maybe it was. They say no publicity, bad. No publicity is bad publicity. So maybe this was still a good move for her. All right. So before we leave, let's talk about Eli Lilly. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that Eli Lilly kind of dropped the prices. Are you considering those prices dropped? I don't know. So let's go to Eli Lilly because I see they have a little payment system. Eli Lilly is they still aren't competing with those compound pharmacies though. So I'm not sure what's going on, what Eli Lilly was thinking. But people who are only wanting the branded, are you somebody in the chat that only wants the branded medication? Because if you only want the branded medication, you might consider this a deal. I'm trying to find out where is my Eli Lilly thing right here. So here's Eli Lilly. Bam. Eli Lilly, they're lowering the price of those vials, right? Look, check this out. And so I'm sure you guys have heard. I know they've talked about it on the downsized a couple of times this week. They've really been hitting that hard. But let's go to Eli Lilly. This is for investors, so you can know exactly what's going on with Eli Lilly. So they call themselves giving you guys a sale. So let me go to the actual one with the sale, the sale price. Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly said, we're about to get in this, get some savings going on. Let's see, here we go. So is it gonna come up? Eli Lilly. Let's see. Here's their medications. I'm trying to go to I had it on Q and now it's gone. News release. Okay, let me find it. Oh, Eli Lilly, where did you go? Where did you go? Is it here? Is it this? Yes, here it is. Sorry. I hope you guys can see this. See this tab. Can you guys see that? Okay, you can see it. I can see it now. Let me find it. Where is it? Okay, so Eli Lilly, we all know about the savings card, right? But here is their little self-pay solution. So now you can get a 2.5 milligram vial. You know, it was $3.99 a month. They lowered it down to $3.49. So there's your cost savings right there. And then what else did they do? Let me see. I wrote this down. Did I write this down? I wrote it down too, as I thought it was so interesting how how they decided to lower these little prices here. So you could go to the self-pay, or you could pay for $4.99 a month. That is still so much more to me than the compound pharmacies. So you could, do the $4.99 a month, and that's a little cheaper than it was, but you could get 5 milligrams, 7.5, 10, and they say restrictions apply. So you could, go here and do that. So you can either have that savings card. If you have that insurance, you're paying $25. For your coverage of the Zepbound. If you can't get the savings card, you could do the self-pay. And the self-pay options, I thought this was interesting that they say 2.5 milligram is the starting dose and not approved for maintenance. So simply, Taisha, let me ask you, is that why you're on 5 instead of 2.5? Because 2.5 is not considered a maintenance dose. So I wonder, is your insurance not going to let you have a 2.5 if you were on maintenance, because they say it's not the maintenance dose? So I wonder, are insurance companies overriding that? Is anybody else here on maintenance? Oh, that's why. So that's why you are on the 5. Okay, because I wondered if that's the reason why you were on the 5. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Here she goes right here. Okay. And then Instagram said, Lilly is being shady on many fronts. They are still pricing. Yes, that is not cheap at all. But they listed the regular price for about $700 when the pens go over retail for $1,200. They're low key showing markup. Yes, for sure. For sure. And they say like it's a sale. It's not. That's still a lot of money. That is still, if you think about it, because if you were buying just the vials, like let's say you were buying the vials, you're paying close to $5,000 for the year, for if you were on the 2.5, and you can't stay on the 2.5. Most insurances I hear now are saying, no, you will not stay on that 2.5, maybe over 2 months. They're starting to tell people they can't stay on it, but for so long. So then that would push you up to the 5, and the 5 and the 7.5 and all that. That's $499. So now you're over 5,000, for the year. That's a lot of money just on medication, right? Just $300 or $400 a month, $500 if you're past the 2.5. That said, compounding has expanded access. It's a concern that 50 to 75% of profits are going to the PBMs, but Lilly and Novo are still making billions. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I was looking at those compound pharmacies, and I was thinking, what would I do? Would I go to Ambo or would I go to Mochi? Because those are the two I hear. Now, I also hear about Fridays a lot. I don't know a lot about them. I also hear about them, but Mochi and Ambo. For me, Ambo, I don't know. Something about Ambo. I'm going to go to their website and show you. I don't know if you guys have ever been, because I've just been thinking about this. Like, what if I would need to do that? My insurance would cover it. My doc told me 2.5 was the starting dose. Oh, okay. So, but for maintenance, they wouldn't even recommend that you go to let you be on the 2.5, because according to Eli Lilly, it's 2.5. And then on their website, it still advises you to go up after 4 weeks on that 2.5, because that's the loading dose. So it's interesting. So they consider your maintenance dose is 7.5 and 10. And I guess like some 5s, they'll let you stay on that. That's probably why the 5s are still at $499. I just took my last 10 milligrams today. Okay, all right, on to the 12.5. I heard 12.5 was where it's at. Exactly, Delilah. Plus, one generic is available. Most insurances will require the generic rather than brand if they cover it at all. Mia says, my insurance only covers 1 month. 1 month. See, that's the thing, but I don't know. Now, I could be wrong about this, but my theory is I feel like, I feel like when they did it, when people were in these research groups, what do they call those? My light just shifted. When they were in these research groups, people were you know, yeah, titrated up every 4 weeks, right? All the way up to 15. And then they stayed on 15. And 15 is where you got that 20% of your body weight. And actually, I'm so close to being 20% of my body weight lost. I'm at like 19.6 or 8 or something like that. So, which I think is so great. But people who were up in that 15, they would lose that up to 20% of their body weight. Well, then I feel like when people started realizing that you could stay on these lower doses longer, I feel like that's what set them into a shortage. That was part of the reason, right? Because now people are staying on these lower doses when Eli Lilly is planning for people to trickle on up, go up that ladder. And now that wasn't just it. Of course, they were overwhelmed by just the enormous amount of, interest that people had in wanting the medication. So they couldn't feel the demand. But I do think the titration, people not titrating like they scheduled it, I really do think that played into it as well. And so now these insurance companies are saying, if you want this medication, and you want us to pay for it, you got to follow our titration schedule. And so that's going to be interesting how this kind of all plays out, with this titration schedule, and them not covering the insurance not covering it if you're not on the dose they want you to be on. And I think with the insurance, what do you guys think is the push for you to get to that 15? Like, what is it? Why do they want you to get to the 15 so fast, I wonder? And I know maybe they're saying, oh, it's based on our research, it's based on, the studies. But, every scientist does this, right? They reevaluate, they revise, they come up with a different hypothesis. Same thing with this whole weight loss. Now they're discovering some people did not need to be on 15. So I feel like things need to be revised, like changed. And so I want to go to these, I was like interested in these compound pharmacies. Like, what on earth are people, how do they choose? Like, how do you choose between Mochi, between Ambo, between Fridays? So let's go to, I want to go to Ambo. Here's their site. So here's Ambo. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see that. So here's that Ambo. They start out with their tirzepatide at $289. So Ambo is at $289. And I think Ambo, they don't have like a fee, but like a monthly fee, am I right? They don't have like that $79 fee that I think you pay at Mochi, which is kind of a good thing, right? That they don't have that. But, I was thinking, what would make me choose Ambo over Mochi? And I don't know, just looking at their site, to me, and now you shouldn't just go by the site, but just looking at their site, I found this just okay. I didn't find it like user friendly. Like, I would have to know somebody that would recommend. And then I don't like how they don't really tell you all the prices. Like, it says starting at $289, and then in order to find out exactly what your price is, you gotta go to enroll. And this is a crazy thing. I try to get out of this Ambo. Now, if you're an Ambo representative, I'm so sorry. I'm just telling you my personal experience. But when I tried to go to Ambo, it would not let me out. Like, it's like once I was on, going through the enrollment, I was trying to see how much it would cost. It was going to take me through this whole process, and then it wouldn't even let me go back. So that kind of annoyed me a little bit. But what's cool is the semaglutide is $179 for all the doses. So I thought that was, now that's cool. That's an incentive for somebody to go there. And for some reason, this lighter background and stuff just kind of appeals to me better. So that was Ambo. So is anybody in the chat using Ambo? I don't know. Do you guys use Ambo? Anybody? I don't know I have to go back and see what you guys are saying. But yeah, does anybody use Ambo? I don't know. And then we also have I went to, what's that other one called? Mochi. So here's Mochi. And I liked mochi. I like just the way it looked for some reason. That's so bad. I'm like, I like the way it looked. But look, you come on here, you see the ladies chilling like a villain in this little thing. I thought that was a cute little touch. Where's Mochi? Here's Mochi. So here's Mochi. I thought that was cool. It just for some reason, and then they have like all the places where you could read about them. It to me it screams like more legitimized for some reason. And I just liked how you click on the questions. They don't tell you a whole lot about the price either on here. You click on the medications. They tell you some things, and then you have to click to see if you're eligible. So right away, they're not telling you, but I heard that they have a fee at, I was, read about that they have a fee, a $79 a month fee, and then you get access to a doctor and a nutritionist. So I think that's good. And I think at Amble, you get access to a nutritionist too there, but I don't think that it is, what do I want to say? I don't think that it is like you have, I don't know. I guess I'm not understanding if you have access to it all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if you have access to that nutritionist as often as they do. Let me take this off. I don't know if you have access to that nutritionist as much as you would at Mochi, I guess is what I'm wondering. Before we leave too, before I forget, I did want to, I don't know if anybody's interested, maybe people that are watching this replay, I don't know if everybody's signed up, but I wanted to, just let you guys know about the downsized cruise. I don't really know if I could go yet, but it's not out of the question, Taisha. It's not out. It's not totally out. But I wanted to share their little cruise. Look at this. So they're going on their little cruise. On June 23rd. And, I have so much going on, so much traveling that I didn't do last year. But if you are looking for something to do and get together with some content creators and, Lorraine and Chris are content creators, book that cruise. I think I want to say they said they have 40 rooms booked, which I think is awesome. Excellent, excellent. June 23rd to the 27th. It's the Celebrity Reflection is the name of the boat. They're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, the Bahamas, in Bimini. Is it Bimini? And Nassau, Bahamas. So the rates start at $8.99 per person, and it's based on a double occupancy. And so, of course, you want to, you could contact them on their website and get more information. That's what this is, a part of their website. So if you are interested in that cruise, I think you should go. I think you should go. I like the idea of people getting together and hanging out, the different content creators and doing something fun, right? I think that's so cool. All right. So that's the end of that commercial break. Let me see what you guys are saying about, what are you saying about, let's see. I think I missed a lot of comments up here. Let's see. Mail, let me see. I'm just going back up and back up. Let's see. You guys are writing a lot. Let me see. Okay. So Taisha is saying it's still much better than 1,200. Okay, yeah, I agree. I think the name brand is a good deal in comparison to the name brand pens. Also, my asthma meds are 1,800, and that's helping you breathe. Okay, and then I also saw where Eli Lilly, they capped the price of their insulin, 70% they cut their insulin down, 70%. So, they're going the right step in the right direction, but they probably are doing that too because more people are probably turning to these, medications to help control their insulin too. And I don't know, I guess if you were a type 1 diabetic, it would be different because you have to, for life, you're going to be using that insulin. So maybe the insulin is different in that way. But I just think, they cut prices on that. They cut prices here a little bit. More cuts are coming down the road. But they're taking it slow and steady. So Yeah, I can see that. Hi, Miss Toy, the review. Such a cute profile pic. She says, if we were paying out of pocket with the savings card, it was 650 and 550 for people that are grandfathered in. So it is a deal, but still high. Yes, so you're right. So it is a little bit deal, but it is still a high for some medication. And remember that because when you hear 3, it sounds a lot better, doesn't it, than that 4.99. Well, the 3.99, 3.99, it's not 3.99 anymore. It's 3.49, but it's only for that 2.5. And then if they're only going to let you stay on for a month, you can only enjoy that for a month. Most insurance companies, I guess the self-pay, is self-pay, right? So that's not true. You don't even need an insurance company. But how long are they going to regulate you, getting that 2.5? Because somebody could be getting 2.5, right, from now till Christmas. Or can they? Darium says, Lily, oh, I think I read that. Okay. Perfectly, Pamela. I would go to the FDA generic route too if it was available. Yes. That said, compounding has expanded access. Mel says it's a concern. I think I read that. Your insurance does cover it. Okay, I read that. Okay. Now, some of those I skipped up there. I don't know how I did that. Exactly, Delilah. Plus, one generic is available. Most insurance will require the generic rather than the brand. I remember reading that if they can even cover it at all. And Mia was saying she only 1 month is 7.5. And so, are you moving up, Delilah? That's a good question. Mel says, I believe that when they release 12.5 and 5, they will be forced to go down even further. Yes, this itchy folks are dangerously exploring the gray market, mixing powder ingredients themselves. I hope not, Mel. I hope not. Kim Jace, We Healthy Life says you should stay on whatever dose that suits you best. They are being ridiculous with making people take more than needed. But then they preach to us not to overdose on meds. Please, I agree. That's a great way to look at it, Kim. Now, that's one thing I would not do, Mel, the gray market. No, but it's so many desperate people that don't, even have a doctor that probably would. But just a reminder, Mel says, compounding of tirzepatide and semaglutide has always been a stopgap rather than a long-term solution. It's unfortunate, but true. Yes, 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 yes. But now we have these doctors saying, "Oh, it's a lifelong commitment. You're going to need to be on these meds forever." So I think that's why the pill is going to be so popular, because I think people are going to switch to the pill. And when the pill comes out, and even if it's a daily pill, it's not the injection. I think the expense of it, pills are going to be definitely cheaper than the injection. And I think actually the pill sounds like, for me, appealing for if I ever get, when I get to maintenance, I think the pill sounds great. Or if I ever get down to get close to my goal, I would even consider it taking the pill. It just depends, though, because remember I took Rybelsus. Is it going to be like that where you had to take the Rybelsus on an empty stomach, for 30 minutes and wait before you could eat 30 minutes? And I just didn't like that. I kind of got sick. In between that 30 minutes, that nausea was on my stomach, doing it that way. So who knows what the regulations are going to be. Hopefully they're studying people and doing a good job collecting that data. All right, let's see what I think Kim said that already. Darium is saying if you don't refill within 45 days, the cost will be, yes, $6.99. Not that it is the full cost for the pens. So no lie there. They are giving you a deal on the vials when you order regularly. Yeah, and then I also think that combats people from trying to split up the doses so much. I guess that's what they're trying to do as well with that. Darium, I'm moving to 12.5 next week. Okay, you have to let me know about that 12.5. People love that 12.5. Taisha says, I can stay on 5. When I see my doc next, I'm going to try to have them handle my prescription from now on, and then it will be forever free. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, that is awesome. Twan is saying that is awesome. Mia says my insurance goes by the Eli Lilly dose schedule. Okay. And, I will like to say Taisha is a veteran. So, we respect those veterans. So I love that. My dad was a veteran. My brother was a veteran. I got lots of love and respect for a veteran. And actually, there was a veteran who was substituting at my school. was it 2 days ago? And yeah, he was just telling us all things VA, and he's retired, and subbing, being a substitute. So I thought that was so cool, talking to him. So Delilah says, Mia, can your doc write a PA request to stay longer on 7.5? Oh, wait, Mel says, I'm sorry, Mel says, I didn't mean to say itchy. Not sure how I typed that, everyone. It's too funny. Yeah, sometimes I read the comments, I can tell people meant to say something else. It's saying, it's typing it, trying to communicate, and type is no easy task. Mia, can your doc write a PA request to stay longer on? Good question. That would be a blessing, Taisha. I hope you could get 84-day supplies too. Okay, yeah, Taisha, that'd be a thing for you to try to do. She's saying thank you. Okay, people are saying I'm sure you read all that. All right, Mel says the insurance companies just want you on and off ASAP, even though for some it should be a lifetime treatment for the disease of obesity. Yes. And you know what? I guess I like to think positively. For some reason, I think we're going to get there. I think it's just taking it's going to take a long time. We have to have patience to get there. But, I just know that competition makes the prices go down. And so once we start getting the competition, and even Eli Lilly with their own retatrutide and with that other pill that they have coming out, I think that's going to also, when those hit the market, and people are going to want better results, right? People who aren't, there are so many people who get to 15 and don't lose like they thought they were going to lose. I think most people get to 15 and think, oh, the weight's just going to, that's going to come tumbling off. Well, a lot of people don't have that experience, and they're going to be looking for something else. And so they're going to go to that retatrutide. And so that's going to bring the price of that, the Mounjaro and Zepbound down, even though it's their own product, right? That's going to force them to lower it. But what really is going to force their hand is when other companies come out with a medication that beats that 20 to 25%, because that's the range that they're in with their medications, right? They're in that 20 to 25 or 22. I don't know if Zepbound is considered 22. I want to say it's 25. I want to say it's 22% of your body weight. But all they need is somebody to come and knock that out. And then we got a competition, and guess what? The prices are going to go down, and I can see that happening in the next year or two. And so we're all going to be like, we're not going to believe people were paying so much for this medicine because it's going to be, not reasonable. Because I still think like $100 and something is a lot of money to pay for a medication, especially a medication classified as for treating a disease. So we shall see. Remember insulin used to be a lot of money? Now look at the prices of insulin. Now it took a long, long time. I don't see this taking that long, but I could be wrong. I just like to think of the glass half full. So yeah, but you hit it on the head, Mel, with that. Taisha, I need to marry me a veteran so I can get them good benefits. Yes. And they should though. They, risk a lot. Fighting for our country and just holding us down. Delilah says that's a true male B. People forget that part. That's the true. I guess she's saying, oh no, that's true male B. People forget that part. Kim J. Excuse me. Kim J. Sweet Healthy Life. That for sure. Okay. So she's agreeing with her. I'm sorry about that. Mia says, I don't know if it wasn't something I wanted to fight with insurance over. So I just started my 10 milligrams like they wanted. So if I get losses with a 10, I will stay. Otherwise, I will get 1 month of 12.5 and then up to 12. Only 1 month. This insurance is really dictating your progress here. Like, geez, Louise, if you're doing well, you should be able to stay on that. Yeah, you have to advocate for yourself, Mia. You have to say no, and get your doctor to back you up. Amble is $289 for the initial doses and then $329 for all the other doses. Okay, all right, okay, because I didn't see that on that website. I was trying to find that out. Thank you. Pamela, that's probably why my husband married me for my benefits. Yeah, too funny, Taisha. I heard more negative about Amble than the others, but I'm not compounded. See, I'm not either. But I know, like on TikTok, Amble is like, I hear Amble is big on TikTok from one of my friends told me that. So I don't know. Um, so yeah, that's too funny. Now, what about her? Now, I just heard because I'm into that stock market. Their stock tumbled 16% when semaglutide was taken off the shortage list, Twan. And so I think if you're talking about that him and her company, so the him and her are talking about going out of not selling, trying to sell semaglutide anymore. I just thought, wow, but yeah, their stock tumbled when and 16% is huge. That's almost 20% of your money wiped out, like millions wiped out. And so, yeah, once that semaglutide got taken off the shortage list, they were feeling it. So, that's the thing. That's another thing too that is big that happened that Twan, made me think about that when she talked about that her. I think you're talking about the company, him and her. Well, semaglutide was taken off that shortage list. So the FDA, so I, looked this up, and the FDA has given them a grace period to allow for an orderly transition. I love how they say that, orderly transition. So state licensed pharmacies and physicians section, if you are 503A company, they are permitted to compound, distribute, or dispense the semaglutide injections until April 22nd of 2020. So April 22nd. If the outsourcing facilities such as, the 503Bs are permitted until May 22nd of 2025. Of course, there have been legal challenges already. The Outsourcing Facilities Association and a Texas-based compounding pharmacy have filed a lawsuit against the FDA, challenging the decision to remove semaglutide from the shortage list. They argue that the shortages persist, even though they say that there's not a shortage. They're saying yes, there is, and they said the FDA's decision was arbitrary, which means random. They didn't have like data, to back it up. They're just saying, oh, okay, we're just gonna say it's a shortage. I mean, the shortage is over when it's really not. And so, and I've heard so many people say that they have gone to get their medication and they didn't have it in stock. And so, and even for me, sometimes they'll have one and not the other two, and then you go back and get the other two. Or sometimes I'll say, if I wait till next week, now that it's, that I haven't had a problem, I would have never done this before, but I still didn't do it. I still go get that one because I don't trust it. But one time I had said, if I can't get it till next week, will my other two be in at that point? And I forget what the lady said. I think she said they couldn't guarantee it. So yeah, I still went and picked up that one because, it's like, you don't want them to do that. And I'm telling you, this is the first medication, now other than, antibiotics for things, you might take, something with my ear, I really haven't taken a lot of medication in my lifetime. Thank God, knock on wood. But I've never had a medication or even heard of a medication where they're saying you need to pick it up by such and such time or we're going to put it back. I've gotten that message every time I didn't go that same day and get the medication. And my pharmacy is Walgreens. And so I just think that that's so crazy. I'm like, geez, Louise. So, they say it's not a shortage, but they operate like it is. This is like crazy. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's all I wanted to say about that. Delilah says, I cannot get it without a sign up going through a consult. It's annoying. Yes. Him and hers give me a bad vibe. 2026, Orfil Gilpron. It'll be good for maintenance. I believe the weight loss in studies was 14 to 15% over 39 weeks. And that's very good. That's very good. Taisha said, yay. I spoke with Kelly and she was great. Is Kelly somebody who is a compound pharmacist or works there or something? I'm not sure. I think I missed that. Isn't it almost full? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Mochi changed their listing today. It doesn't say semaglutide or tirzepatide anymore. Now it says compounded GLP-1 and compounded GLP-1 GIP. Huh. Well, I was just on their website. Let's go back to that. Because wasn't I was just on their website. Here's their website. Can you see that? No, you can't. Let me see. Where is it? This is Mochi, I think. Okay, here's their website, Delilah. So yeah, where do you see that? Here it says Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound. Isn't this Mochi? Yeah, because I went to it. Here's the oral things they offer. Now this is what I took before, Ribelsis. And then they have, whatever else, Contrave and Revia, Alley. Remember the Alley pill? I never took that, but I remember hearing about it. So yeah, they still have those names up there. They still have those names up there, unless I'm at the wrong site that you're talking about. I was just reading about that. Okay, yeah. Lilly had to be sued to lower their insulin costs. Is that what happened? They got sued? I couldn't remember. I just remember, and I know they lowered it even more now. I just read that a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday. They lowered it, and they said the total cost has been lowered is 70%. So, geez, Louise, that just goes to show you. Well, and that's why I said suing can sometimes be a good thing because that's how you're going to get people to take action. Um, Twan says, "Oh, Twan, hey, thanks for staying up this long. It's 10 o'clock. I can't believe you're here. It's been good. Gotta go. Night, night. Say a prayer for me. Tomorrow is weigh-in. Crenitine hasn't allowed me to be great, but your muscles and your bones are probably loving it. So stick with it. Stick with it. You're doing great. Good luck. Good luck. But blessings to you. Blessings to you." Mia says, "Am I the only one that sees Eli Lilly as generous? Look how Eli Lilly made it possible for us to have it at $25. Oh, that's a good question for everybody. People are saying, "Good night, Twan. You got this. Good night." I'm gonna have a pronouncing contest. Orforglipron is a glucagon-like peptide GLP-1 receptor agonist. It's non-peptide drug, which means it's easier to produce and may be cheaper than the other GLP-1 agonists. So maybe it won't be as many side effects. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I hope that it will be cheaply priced. Orforglipron. New meds are costly. That pain med or Gervonix is $15.51 per pill. Jeez Louise. That's a lot. Oh my goodness. A new pain med. I haven't heard of that either. No, Mia, I see it that way too. I think it's pretty darn amazing what they are doing with the vials too. Jerlene is saying we're praying for Twan. I agree, DD. The cost will go down, much like Darium said. That's a crazy price. My goodness. Mel says King Darium. Wow, wowza. And people are saying good night to Twan. Okay. Oh, I think this is so sweet. Sweet dreams, Twan. That's so sweet. I love when people say sweet dreams. The migraine meds I take are 6 years old, and yet it's still a $1,350 a month cost not my copay. Okay, wow. I pray the pill never comes because I don't want to be forced off the injection. Kim J says, yes, advocate for you, Mia. You know yourself better than anyone. Yes, you gotta do that, Mia. You gotta really speak up. Let's see what's Mel B saying. Mel to the B. Hers apparently stopped sema and tirzepatide compounding. Wow, geez, Louise. Yeah, they don't want to be sued. They already had some I don't know. It did seem like some shadiness was going on. And I'm not saying it was. I don't know that. But you just from what you hear people saying. So hopefully not though, Hopefully not. I wonder, Mia, I take a thyroid medication and it must be taken on an empty stomach and no other med for at least 4 hours. I wonder if the pill form would compete and then the insurance has to choose. So that's a thought. I don't know. I think pills are automatically going to be cheaper because they're pills. Like you don't have the pen, you don't have that whole, shebang to go through the production. It's just going to be a lot easier. It's just going to be like robots in there cutting up those pills, putting them in the in the bottles. Which to force me to be on? Okay. They spent so much on that Super Bowl commercial. Was that him and hers that spent that money on the Super Bowl commercial? Jeez Louise. I wondered if that was them. Okay. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. Hers took a big hit because of the Super Bowl commercial. Oh, so it wasn't a good one. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. I want to say, I don't know, somebody showed the commercial and talked about it. One of the content creators, but I saw some of it from them. I didn't really see it on the actual Super Bowl. It's because there's no room in the fridge for it. They move it from the big fridge to the small ready fridge. Okay, okay. CVS has CVS sometimes give you a date, but never got a same day. Wow, a same day threat. Wow, DD. Yes. Well, I don't know if it was the same. Was it the same day? No, it wasn't the same day, Kim. So if I said that, I misspoke. It wasn't the same day, but they have told me within a couple days. Like if you don't come get it, I want to say maybe that second day. Because depending on what day it is, I'm gonna have a hard time getting to that pharmacy. It's not like it's super close. So yeah. You said pick up by date. They give you a pick up by date, but they still send you that little reminder. Like if you don't come get it by such and such date, it's going back. Delilah Mochi is trying to fight. Okay, all right. Maybe it's a little different on a mobile only. I sent you a screenshot via text. Let's see. Delilah. Okay. Okay, let me see. Yeah, and you have prices too, and it's cheap. Jeez Louise. So the compounding so that would be semaglutide because it just has the $199. Yeah, that's not on their actual website. I just went to. Wow. Okay. Maybe that's for the TikTok crowd. Yes, they are, Melby. I wonder how that would work out for them. Crenitine is also amazing for brain health. Well, I need some of that. Allie had a lot of product tampering. Oh, did they really? I didn't know that. I'm happy to be off those insulins. Yeah, I'm happy you're off too, Kim. Mia, that's an offline conversation, girl. I don't know what she's saying. I pick my battles just because I went softly over the 7-5 doesn't mean I won't put my foot down. All right. I just want any waves made. I just don't want any waves made because I'm needing to stockpile my meds. Oh, for being off these for 3 months. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yes, Mia, that's awesome. They provided the savings card. I'm thankful for it. Yes, yes, yes. Delilah, Mia, I wouldn't give Eli Lilly an award. I mean, I'm grateful for their innovation. I take is it Duprazent injection every 2 weeks. I have severe asthma. The monthly supply is $3,800. You got to be kidding me. Thank God for insurance and a discount card from the company. That is crazy. $3,800. Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh, I'm not passing out awards to EL or NN or any pharma company. However, I do appreciate the savings card and I do think the vials are a great step in the right direction. NN isn't doing yet anyway. Okay, yeah, so okay, all right. I believe all of us on Brandon should be stockpiling as well. Why? Because these peptides will be right back in shortage once compounding of them has to stop. Oh man. Jeez Louise. All right. Somebody said, Dave on the pen. I work for a hospital, so I get my medication through them. They ship all of my medication to my home. Okay. Do they really? I love that. On the pen did talk about a commercial. Okay. Oh, okay. I said that to Mel B. Plus, I've been concerned about being forced off with my insurance after getting my A1C corrected. So that's what I wonder. Anybody on here? Most my light again. I wonder. Is there anyone on here that was on Mounjaro? I meant to ask Keisha too. I don't know if she's still on here. Um, I meant to ask Lakeisha as well. Oh, all this is recording on my on my phone. It's typing, it's texting, typing. But I meant to ask Lakeisha on here if when her A1C went down under the diabetic level, if they forced her off the medication. In her insurance company. I wondered that. Somebody told me they give you a while because I guess that they probably realize, it's gonna take you a while to get adjusted. I don't know how long. I'm not sure exactly how long that is, that adjustment period, though. I don't know. All right, so let's see. Okay. I enjoy my crenitine, very helpful in many ways. Yes, yes, yes. I haven't started taking that, but I will. I heard it's good benefits just in general, like period. Beverly Garner, one of my daughters is on Dupresent for severe eczema. She injects once every other week. She hasn't had any asthma issues anymore either. Woohoo! Very good, very good. Isn't this is a small world? You meet somebody that has something in common when you least expect it. How about that? I just got 4 monthly. That will be a $30 copay monthly with my inhaler. Has no coupon option whatsoever. I wish they all had savings cards because they help out a ton. Oh, I got a 4th monthly that will be a $30 copay monthly. Okay, okay. I get my what's this Excedra. Ooh, I've never heard of these. Magnafem from Novo. Between Lilly and Novo, they're deep in my pockets. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, Beverly, I'm so glad you got your you could get your meds. Yes, me too. That's great. Yes, yes, yes. I've spoken with 4 or 5 different people who have had their insurance pull approval once their A1C corrected. Oh, that is so crazy. Jeez Louise. Mounjaro of a hair. CVS Caremark says if your doctor says you need it, they will approve it. All right, CVS. We see you. I asked BCBS in January, so I think that means Blue Cross Blue Shield. I am graduating up on these acronyms. Like I'm a little bit more on it than I ever was. Mel B, same. My estradiol and one of my migraine meds is from EL2, Eli Lilly. Okay, okay. Are your insurance covering yours, Delilah? Mark says, where do you get crenitine and can you get it at Costco? All right, that's a Mel B question. Mel B, Taisha, can you get it at Costco? Maybe you answered already in the chat, but I can say it out loud too. Kim J, guess what Caremark is who 2 of those people had? In fact, we have the exact same insurance. We are co-workers and their approvals were pulled. Kim J. Just because your A1C goes down to normal doesn't mean you don't need the medication anymore. You then need it to hopefully keep you in the normal range. That's what I say too. Because remember, there is no cure, right? There is no cure. So that is so true. Mark, yes, you can. They have powder form. Okay, okay. Dave Knapp did a video about how to keep your medication if your A1C is corrected or your BMI goes to a healthy number. Check it out, Delilah. I took a listen to it. Okay, well, that's good information. Mark says, thank you, Delilah. I agree, Kim J, and I wish it wasn't happening, but apparently it is. Okay. Miss L. Russ says, Mel. Is that Mel? That's not Mel. That's a different Mel. Or she said hi to Miss L. Russ is saying hi to Mel. Amazon, Mark, Amazon has the crenitine. Do you guys have a brand? Bonuses, Thorn crenitine. I get it from the vitamin shop. Now I know every city probably has a vitamin shop. Um, she said she has that concern, and it's happened to some of her patients. So we're all avoiding the test. We were avoiding testing altogether. Okay, okay. Mel B broke the Lilly story regarding the vials on the Downsize Live. Yeah, I heard that. She asked, and Chris said he heard, and he said no. Chris was probably like, oh my gosh, I got to get on this ASAP. I love that, Mel. Mel's breaking news. Breaking news. Delilah, your doctor's office can fight your insurance company on continuity of care to continue with the medication. It's a fight, but it can happen. Well, yeah, I guess the message here is don't give up. You know, if they say no, you got to push back. Why not? And that's why documentation on this medication is so pertinent. Now, I know your doctors are documenting things, but you can also be documenting things. I think that's super helpful. You know, and I got to remember that for myself. You know, I have been keeping track of my weight and everything so well, and then I stopped keeping track of it. And so now, because I had, you know, been making videos, I have documentation that I could go back and refer to. So I fill that all into my calendar, because I'm like, I want to keep track of this, just in case I have to prove, or, you know, something myself. You know, I got to be prepared. Let's see. It's like when you scroll down, it jumps back. Mark says that, thank you. Okay, let's see. Uh, Thorn is probably the highest quality and value. Oh, is it really for creatine? Miss Elbras, oh, thank you. I've never heard of a vitamin shop until I moved to Texas. Yeah, we have them in Ohio. It's the doctor saying you still need it, still need the meds. They have to write it up a certain way to make sure there isn't an issue. Beverly says she's willing to, but simply won't budge. She says she's willing to, but some simply won't budge. Okay, okay. I can see them fighting that. Delilah says it's not an issue for me, and in the name of Jesus, it won't ever be. However, it's a concern of my doctor from her experience with other patients as well as my own because I'm paranoid. Well, I can see that though. I can see how you would think that because I was wondering that too. Like, are they going to try to pull you off? You know, because you are, you know, within your normal range. Kim says, Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life. I know someone close to me who's a doctor said they don't say anything about weight loss when you're talking about Mounjaro because they are more subject to deny it. Be careful, little mouth, and what you say. With the song. Is that a song? That is too funny. So yeah, you just have to not focus on that weight loss and focus on your A1C, but also I guess focus on the lifestyle changes. I would definitely put in there, you know, pharmaceutical companies, there is no cure for diabetes, right? So I need this medication. To me, right there is your why. There is no cure. You can only be in remission, and you can only reverse it, right? I mean, it can be reversed, not totally cured though, and it can be, so I guess it's in remission, and you could say you need those medications to stay in remission because that's one of the things, if you look it up, that science recommends besides lifestyle changes. They do realize some people need medication, and guess what? You are that someone. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Well, I would, you know, I wouldn't worry about it, but I would word it in such a way. You got to get you a wordsmith. If your doctor can't do it, that can help you with it, because yeah, I can see a pure flat out case why you would need to stay on it. Mia says, well, Kim says, now that's it, Delilah. In the name of Jesus, all things are possible. Only believe. Yes, yes, yes. Mia, I asked my doctor as well, keeping it after I lose weight. I worry too. By then it's going to be so cheap, right? You know, because you said you have a lot to lose. And so unless you're going to be losing that in the next year, if you think it's going to take you over a 2-year span, Mia, I think you're going to be fine. I think in 2 years, mark my words, what's today? Today is 2/26/25. Mark these words. In 2 years, I think it's going to be down quite a bit. I think it's going to be a lot of competition out here. Eli Lilly is going to be his own competitor because remember, they're going to want people to be on that retatrutide. People are going to be stuck on that 15 and can't lose, and they're going to be needing that extra boost. And I just think it's just all going to work out for the good. I really do. It's just we're going to have to suffer through this, the aches and pains, while we get to that point. That's the downside. Delilah says, okay, I fully agree, Kim J. She says she's willing, didn't even put my numbers except for the A1C to ensure that I don't, that it's not for that. Okay. All right. Well, I would go with that it's a disease that is not cured. Like, I mean, it is what it is. So the fact that you're going down is temporary. I'm not gonna say a whole lot because I don't want to give these people ideas on how to come back at it. But yeah, we just gotta stay strong. Exactly, Dee Dee. That's what the doctor said out of their mouths. Diabetes cannot be cured. Some doctors don't want to do the extra work. Leave it in God's hands. Yeah, pray about it, but also advocate for yourself. And pray that your prayer should include that you want be able to have the words and have the wisdom to advocate for yourself. Pray for your doctor so that your doctor can advocate correctly and effectively for you. So yeah, prayer does change things. I really do believe in that. But you got to pray. You got to be specific in this prayer. Mia, we will make our changes and live differently for so long that it all becomes habit and we will have control over our food noise. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. I love that. Yes. And Mia, you said a word there. That's a shame. We are operating with a sick care system, not a health care system. Jeez Louise. Yes, Mia. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, isn't that sad though? A sick care system instead of a health care system. Jeez Louise. Kim J. Delilah says, in fact, many of my insurance have not been approved with lesser A1Cs than I had, and no one knows why I got approved instantly, and they're still fighting for their approval. Yeah, well, that just goes to show you it's a case-by-case basis. The CCS says, oh, Mia, exactly, sick care versus the health care. Sick care, unfortunately, is, it's better than they want to keep us sick first of all. So, guys, I told you guys I'm gonna, hopefully get this video out. I'm gonna do another update with thorough 1 year update because I don't think it was very thorough. I was so excited about my 1 year, and then I'm blurry on there. Got off on some tangent. So maybe on what's today, Wednesday? Maybe I'll get that video out tomorrow. I finished editing it. I just got to get it out. And then I'm going to talk about my doctor's visit because wait till you hear what happened at my doctor. I know it's a teaser, but I'm saving it for a video. I'm hoping to get that out Friday, maybe Friday or Saturday. And maybe even Monday, because I have I have an interview that I need to get out this weekend that I did for the channel. So yeah, so I have a lot going on, but wait till you guys hear about this doctor. That's going to be our topic of discussion. When that video comes out, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's going to be a topic for our discussion on next Wednesday. And so I will see you guys on Friday. I'm planning on coming on Friday. So many kids have been sick and just people at my school. I hope my immune system can hold up. And then I need to go to the grocery store. I haven't had the best meal prep this week going on. I had conferences. I didn't have conferences. My daughter had conferences. I had things going on with her. So this has been a busy week. I haven't been able to get with my AP partner, accountability partner, and we've checked in, but we haven't been able to work out. So I've just had like a kind of a stressful week with trying to fit everything into my week, which is, it's just to be expected, right? You got things going on. So I'm just trying to get myself back on track. Hopefully today is like the hump day, right? Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, then we're cruising into that weekend. So yeah, I have a lot going on. And I just want to thank you guys again. My 1 year is just feeling good. I hope you guys listen to the song. Did you guys listen to the song? I love this song. I don't love the fact that I was in the video. I was hoping that I didn't have to be in it as much, but I was, and so it was just such a blessing. And it's so funny. I just appreciate all you guys and just everything that you bring, all the energy you bring, the sass, the funny, the comments. Like everybody's just so funny. Everybody has their own personality and way of communicating things. And I just think that is so super cool. So be on the lookout for my upcoming videos. Now, I think we have Perfectly Pamela in here. Check out her videos. We had Twan who left. Check out her videos. We have Simply Taisha. She just put a video out this week on Sunday. So go back and check that out. What Kim J's Healthy Sweet Life. I mentioned her earlier, but I do know she has 2 videos that came out. One's a regular video, and then the other one is a short she had out. Kofia's been dropping new videos. Kofia, what is her name? I don't want to mess it up. Let me find it. I don't want to say it. I'm so bad at names, guys. But the thing about this YouTube is it's all free. So unless somebody just you just don't want to follow, why not support and follow? Let's see, Delilah. I'm going to say Delilah because Delilah has this video, your latest video. You're dropping videos every day. I'm trying to find is it called the whole? She's called the Whole Healed You. I think that's what her name is. I didn't want to mess it up, but I'm pretty sure that's what Kofia changed her name to. And then we have Delilah. Delilah's been dropping videos every single week. I mean, day. So I've been having such a hard time catching up with people. Tia dropped a video, Healthy Spirit Podcast. She hadn't dropped a video in a while. I saw her. I need to go back, and that's on my list of things to do. Is watch that video of her. That's Raina is dropping videos. 2.0 Mommy just did like a year update. So many of us had our year anniversaries. Taisha, I know, had hers. Twan had hers. Simply Taisha. And who else was in here? Real Talk with Elaine was in here. One of her last videos, I think she was talking politics. So just trying to, not necessarily a specific, party or anything, but just trying to advocate for people to be more active in their community. And this is the funny thing. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this on Sunday, but do you know somebody? Remember I said Monday I might run for office of something. Do you know when I went to my daughter's school for her conference, one of the teachers, 2 of the teachers approached me about running for something in my community. And I just thought, like, God is always around, right? Listening and working his magic, because who knew that they would ask me to do this? They were like, we really need you to run for this office. It's a huge commitment. I'm not going to say a whole lot because maybe somebody's watching this channel. But, I told him, I said, maybe I'll consider it if there's a opening when I retire in 2 years. So that's still my goal, to retire in 2 years. And I told them that maybe I would consider it, but I think a position is coming up. And I just was like, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I could for sure take it on. But because I'm doing YouTube and I'm so invested in this and us and all things GLP-1, I just couldn't do it. But I just thought that was so funny. I was just thinking, like, geez Louise, I said that out of my mouth on Sunday, and then I'm getting approached about running for an office that has kind of like some power to it. So, like, I be making some choices that affects so many people. So, it's, I'm going to have to really, I told the lady I would really talk to her and just hear about it. And maybe we could plan something for me to do it in 2 years when I retire, because I'm going to need something to do. I plan on getting a part-time job, though. I plan on working somewhere. But I just thought that was so funny. So that just, I always knew that, I feel like God is always listening. And putting little, tapping you on your shoulder and putting people in place to tap you on your shoulder. So I just thought that was great. So Jerlene, you gotta put, I don't know if Jerlene left out of here, but that date was March the 9th, wasn't it, when she's having her surgery? I want to write that down. I want to remember, because I've been saying some prayers. If Jerlene is in here, March 9th is a Sunday. Do they do those surgeries on a Sunday? Did she say March 9th? Okay, I should have wrote in pencil. I wrote it in pen. Does anybody know when Jerlene said her date? I can't see. I would be scrolling forever up in this chat. Let's see. Kim says, like and subscribe. It costs free $99. In Twan's voice. Comments are very encouraging. Yes. Oh, March 6th. Okay, I was like, March the 9th is a Sunday. March 6th, Jerlene. Okay, all right. So yeah, we're going to send out prayers for you. And it's going to go just fine. You're going to go in there. And when you wake up, you're going to be like, geez, Louise, this was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You're going to come out thinking, how did it all happen so fast? The last thing you're going to remember is seeing that anesthesia and tell you you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. And maybe even your doctor. Those are the last two people I saw. Except for I think one of my friends took me and sat there, because somebody has to stay there with you. So it's going to be all good, but that's okay. We're going to be praying. March 6th is coming fast. Can you believe that? Next week, this is the last week in February. Guys, we're going to be in the summer. Can you believe that? Pretty soon. So I will see you guys. Thank you for staying here with me. We've been on here for 2 hours and 23 minutes. That is just spitting facts, dropping gems. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I actually am going to go straight to bed, get ready for bed here. I'm not going to do anything else. And I will see you guys on Friday. Simply Taisha, you have to do that video. I remember Mel telling you, and I second that motion, you got to do a shopping haul video for us so we can see those dresses that you're going to be wearing. I was going to say, you're going to be styling and profiling. So I will see you guys. I will see all of you guys. Thank you for joining me, and have a great night. Have a great night. Sleep well. Prayers for Geraldine. Bye.